Well, I'm Sally. I am an apprentice of Jesus, and I have been here for almost 18 years. I have been here in Grand Junction since 79, when I went to Mesa State at the time and met my husband here, and my family lived here with my sisters, and so I've been here a long time. I am in a wheelchair due to MS. I was officially diagnosed in '89 when I was a nurse at St. Mary's in the NICU, and I've been in my chair now 23 years. So, but God has been so amazing with it, and I'm so thankful because I can do so much more. When people pray for me, I have always allowed them to pray for me because I think I want to be blessed to be a blessing, and whether they know exactly, but I then turn around a lot of time and pray for them, and I just feel that I have asked the Lord, in times past, and He was like, I've got you. To me, it's where He picks up the lamb that has the broken leg and carries that lamb. I feel that's me.
I'm Amanda. I am also an apprentice of Jesus, and I have been going to Canyon View 2.5-ish years. Actually, the first thing that Pastor Corey asked me was, how can we make this a more accessible place for you? Like, how can we make this better for you and more welcoming for you? And I just felt the Lord say, this is where you belong. I always tell people, like, when I start this, I was born without a filter. And I was born with something called Leber's congenital amaurosis. I'll ask you to spell that. There will be a test afterward. Basically, that means that the back of my eye and my optic nerve the connections did not form correctly. The other thing that I will tell you, and the thing about people with disabilities, is I have several other invisible disabilities. I married not one but 2 abusive men. And so I don't want to trigger anybody with that, but I experienced abuse in every sense of the word. I also have some injuries, and my migraines are caused by that as well. People ask me a lot about how I navigate God's healing. Well, why hasn't God healed you? Healed me from what? Because the implication there is that I'm not whole already, that my blindness somehow makes me less, and that is simply not true. God has healed me. God has healed me from so much. People are always going to pray, but the first face that I see is going to be my Maker's, and how blessed am I? The thing that I would tell you is we're people first, right, Sally? We're people first. And so when you come up to somebody, you don't just say, hey, notice you're in a cast, I'm going to pray for you. The question should always be asked, how can I pray for you? Not, can I pray for your sight to be restored? Because A, that's inaccurate, and B, no thank you. It really is a disservice to God. How you made me isn't good enough. And so we need to fix you. And we're going to fix you through prayer. Yeah, so when you're connecting with somebody who is blind or visually impaired, like Sally said, treat us like we're human, We are just like you. I mean, we have our quirks, you haven't probably noticed that with me yet, but we're just human. So please treat us that way. Even if you see somebody who has like 3 little kids and you're like, oh, got your hands full, they know that, right? What would be helpful right now is a great question. Because it also allows us to say what would be helpful, and it's not like, how can I help you? Because that's really more
like I am reaching out because I know what you need.
Right.
I know what you need, so let me do that for you.
Yes.
Or you are too slow in your whatever you're doing, and I can help you to hurry you along.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of my earliest memories, I was probably 2 or 3, and I was just crying because I did not want to go to children's church because I didn't belong. And I didn't have the ability to articulate that to my mom. And she was just like, what is your problem? You know, like we do with little kids, like, why won't you just be good? And that was just, I couldn't tell her. I remember my pastor's son, who is actually now the pastor of the church I grew up in, gave a sermon on a church is where everybody should belong. And I was 16, I was on the praise team, and I was sitting there thinking, then why isn't it? Why? Why are you giving this sermon and I know all of these people are going to walk out and say, that was a nice message today, that nobody is going to put it into action? Why? And it's taken me a long time to belong at church, and it's still hard.
If you are struggling with a disability and confidence, I just know the Lord will be there for you. I have to rely on Him. It's my verse, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean on your own understanding. And I know I don't want to marginalize anybody either for when they are having those moments, and but He'll pick me up.
What Sally said, the Lord is your provider, and the Lord is your confidence. The other thing I would say is to just give yourself grace and to give yourself that ability to say, it's okay. It has shaped me. It has molded me in ways that only God knows, because He is the potter and I'm the clay. When you interact with people who have a disability, just remember they're people first. So please don't be shy. Please come say hi. Like we don't bite. I mean, Alice doesn't. I might, but